So I want to introduce you to Mary so that you can hear a little bit about her experience. She's been a student of the guides, so she totally understands that this is this is definitely a journey in terms of personal development and really stretching that that possibility. So I'm gonna let you introduce yourself a little bit. Tell people what you do. How'd you end up here coming to the guides?
Of course. So, hi everyone. I'm Mary Alvizures. I love empowering soulful entrepreneurs to share their magic and through a soul aligned brand and money making website. So, in simple terms, I'm a web designer and brand strategist. And I met the guys. Well, I met Solera last year. And I was completely in love with the vibe. I was like, oh my God, I want to be as fairy like as she is. It's just so magical to hear all her stories and so fun. And so, of course, I just stayed connected over time. And in January, just like everyone, looking for their plan, like, oh, what is this year going to be about? She was, marketing one of her programs, and it was about, setting up your year or something. Not those exact words, but something along those lines. And I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's do this. What is this year going to be about? So I signed up, and as like my mantra is everything goes better than I ever expected, but this one really takes the cake. Like, this is not what I expected at all, but it's been so much better, like seriously so much better. My life has completely up leveled. It's crazy because I'm like, who was I in December? I'm a completely different person now.
Yeah.
Um,
You want to tell?
I was sitting on, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. I was gonna say you want to tell people kind of how you were before you came, like kind of that January version of yourself.
The January version, okay, so she was insecure in her business ever since she started it, basically. Things were good, but I've always still just had that insecurity of like, oh my God, things are going well, but when is it going to go bad again? The guides taught me really how to just trust myself, the universe, how to create that feeling of stability. That was a game changer. My manifesting, I'm going to call it a muscle, is like so strong, like insane. Like, let's say I was lifting 2 pounds, now I'm lifting 200 pounds. Like, it's crazy. Like, just, I'll never forget, I was on vacation in March, I think. Yeah. And I just felt like everything was just handed to me on a silver platter. Like, oh, I want this. And boom, it was there. And I was like, oh my God, this isn't how it used to be. And March was probably the first time I left home because, we've been in a pandemic. So I didn't really get to experience the world like I did in March. And I was like, wow, things are just amazing. My savings account, I finally have one, and it's growing every day. The guides taught me about, not so much managing my money, but like how to make more and growing my wealth, expanding my container. That in itself has been so, so, so amazing. I don't know. I think I could say not last year, at least a year before that, I was living paycheck to paycheck, always like in like, am I going to make this? Am I going to make that? And now I have a lot of money and I spend a lot of money, which is a crazy thing.
Yeah, that's the thing,
I
right?
spend a lot now. I'm always just giving myself what I want, and the money keeps coming in. It doesn't stop. Before, it was like I'd calculate like, I don't think I could buy that because that's going to take away from that. One thing the guides taught me was like, don't hoard your money. I was like, okay, I'm going to try that. And literally, don't hoard your money because it works. So yeah, it's crazy. I was sitting in my balcony yesterday and I was looking at my patio furniture and I'm like, wow, when I bought this, I moved here in November. I live in Austin now. I remember being at the store and being like, should I take the table? Should I not take the table? Like, oh, it's going to put me over budget. Oh, whatever. I bought the table, but I still kind of felt like that. Oh, should I have bought in it? I can always return it, right? And then yesterday I was like, oh my God, well, one, I got the table good. And I'm like, if I had walked into the store right now, I'd probably be like, give me the couch, give me the umbrella. I want the grill. I'm like, I'm a completely different person. So I had to celebrate that. And I was like, wow, like time's been flying, but like, yeah, working with the guides, it's just been so up leveling.
So I think that's one of the things that that was really magical is I felt like when I first met you, you really were restricting yourself. You know, this is not a criticism, but I just felt like you were really holding yourself back a lot in terms of what you would allow yourself. Like even your there were a lot of things, even like your relationship, kind of your dream of buying a home, like all these things. It's almost like you were just okay with like the small version of you, you know?
That's exactly how it was. I remember asking the guides, like, so I drive a car, it's paid off, but I'm learning that like my bigger version of myself should be driving, a Porsche, for example. And they're like, you can do it. And I'm like, I want to get a house. They're like, you should get the $1 million house. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, no, definitely. I think I was very, very I was limiting myself, in so many ways from showing up as my true self. I remember one time the guides were like, you need to be the girl that's sitting in the middle of the cafe. You need to be the one in the middle of the dance floor. And so, yeah, but being able to finally allow myself to dream and really ask for the bigger things, that was amazing because like I said, they've been coming in. For example, it's as simple as shopping. Like if I want something, I buy it. And then my money flow doesn't stop. And before I'd be like, no, I'll save up for that. Oh, I'll put that on a wish list, or oh, that's not for me. And it's not like that anymore. And that is just,
Yeah.
yeah, so, so grateful.
Like, what do you think is the quality that, let's say, another student comes to the guys? What do you think is the quality that someone needs to do this kind of work, right? Because this is not really traditional coaching. This is not therapy, right? Like, very unconventional.
It's not therapy. It's not traditional. I would definitely say have an open mind and actually like do the homework. And the homework isn't like, oh, let me, do all this work. The guides can make it really, really simple. Even when they're explaining something, they explain it in the simplest way, or it's you can understand, and they'll ask you like, do you understand? And then you're like, yeah, that was amazing. But really it's just about having an open mind. That's really, really key. Because I've been working with the guides, there's a lot of deconditioning. You grow up and you think things have to be a certain way, and they really don't. And the guides teach you that. And so if you're there sitting there like, nope, I'm still going to sit in my old ways, then it's not going to work. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to try it, this sounds actually so much better than what I know, then things are really going to work for you. And they'll give you a little homework like, all right, well, try this. It could be as simple as like a mindset thing when you're brushing your teeth. Everyone brushes their teeth. So it's not like hard homework like, oh, go do X, Y, Z, and that. It's literally just like one little step. Like, I remember for me, it was like, turn on the faucet and imagine that the water is like cold water or something like that. I don't remember specifically, but it was like as simple as that. That's the homework. And, it was I think it was for, just letting money flow in or just abundance, something around that. But yeah, so I would say definitely an open mind and do the homework.
Yeah, and tell people a little bit like how you're doing now, like in your work, in your business, your relationship.
Yeah, so the guides helped me, oh my God, in everything. In my health, last year I had a huge health scare, and luckily I was able to cure, but then just kind of reconnecting with myself and reclaiming my health. The guides helped me do that. I remember my first session, I was like, okay, well, how do I grow my business? How do I market my business? They taught me that, and I've been doing it since. And my business has completely grown. I went from, just getting any clients, just manifesting my dream clients. And it comes in like just such an easy flow. It's like, okay, I have a few clients, I clear the slate, and then, more keep coming. And it's really magical. It's really funny. Even last week, I was like, oh, I don't like, I just cleared my slate. Where's my next clients? It was like 2-3 days later, boom, they all came in. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you, universe. So I was like, Mary, stop living in your old, ways. Like, it's all going to work. You already know that. And my relationship, I remember there was questions and doubts and things, and it's really, really helped my romantic relationship with my partner. Um, there was things we had to work through, and the things that the guides taught me really, really helped with that. Um, yeah, and even well, like I said, my finances and really just my lifestyle, like my wealth has completely expanded. And it's so nice to feel that like anything is possible. Like they were just saying, being in alignment with that. I was not in alignment with that. I think this was the road and I was way over here. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's been life changing. And yeah, even just always listening to what they have to say, because like Solera was saying, like they sometimes repeat the same concept but in a different way, and it's just a reminder, just like, oh yeah, they taught me that too, or like, oh yeah, that's right. And so yeah, it's been amazing.
So I have a kind of fun question for you. This is
Of
just
course.
going on. I think a lot of people are, it's like, working with the guys is kind of like a woo-woo thing, right? If you were to tell people or explain this to people, and people ask you, oh, is this like psychic reading? What would you say to them?
It's not a psychic reading. When I think of a psychic reading, I think of like someone looking into a crystal ball and being like, on June 10th, you're gonna meet the love of your life. It's not like that at all. There's no dates, there's no predictions, there's nothing. It's really just about learning what's possible for you, how it's possible for you, in a way that you understand it. I'm sure every session that Solera has. Well, actually, no, you told me that once. You're like, wow, I never knew that's how you can grow your money. Like literally, my last client, they told her to do this. So everyone's different. I remember for me, oh, I don't remember. I mean, they taught me so many things I can't remember right now. But I know for one of your clients, they're like, go look at your spreadsheet. And that was not a step for me. I don't look at my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But for me, it was something else. I don't remember. Like I said, they taught me a lot of things, but it's not a psychic thing. It's really just about understanding like how it all works and how it's all possible for you, what you want. And yeah, it's non-traditional. Um, it is woo-woo in the sense that you are connected with the universe and you have to trust that and just be open to all the possibilities and the magic. So in that sense, I would say it's woo-woo, but it's not that crazy, to be honest. I mean, I guess it is, but maybe I'm the crazy one. I don't know, but life is amazing.
Yeah, no, I think you really you did so well. I really do agree that the key quality is just to be open. Like if you really insist, I always tell everybody, listen, they're not going to tell you what you want to hear. Like they're just not going to tell you what you want to hear, but they will tell you what you need to know. And people ask sometimes a lot of similar questions, but they would never like just give out general answers. Everyone's so specific. So their answer to you is so specific. Like what I channel for you, honestly, I've never channeled it for other people. It was always just about you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what well, because I've also done some general sessions where, I was just in the group live, what is it, 7-week coaching
Yeah,
or 6-week
yeah,
coaching?
that's right.
And yeah, that was really great learning from the guides, but I'm like, oh, the one-on-one sessions, like those are literally for you. Like they literally tell you how to achieve X or whatever question you have, with like what's literally the answer for you, which is so amazing. So that one-on-one is, yeah, it's gold.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, because you've really done great and you've really showed up to pretty much everything the guides have offered.
I did. I'll admit I didn't do all the homework 100% of it, but I did 85, 90, and that's still huge. And yeah, it's really exciting. I'm so grateful for you because I don't know where I'd be if I hadn't been able to have those sessions and change my mindset. I've done a lot of programs and courses, and everyone's taught different things, but clearly those didn't work for me. I remember the guides told me, they're like, well, clearly nothing that you've done is working for you.
Yeah, they did say that. Modesty is not a good quality. It's just something else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they really will tell you, you think you're going to hear something because that's the answer that you know, that's probably what you've learned in the past, but what they're going to tell you is completely different. But when they break it down, it makes total sense. And when you actually give it a chance and try it, or, you know, do the homework or allow yourself to shift that mindset or whatever it is, like, you're just going to open yourself to a whole world of possibilities and magic and growth and up leveling. It's amazing.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your personal experience. You know, sometimes it's just nice to hear somewhat from someone else and not just hearing it from Solera, you know? So, well, I want to take this opportunity to kind of share with everyone what the guides are up to next. So, the Council Billionaire is open. This is a sort of high level mastermind, and Mary is invited as well. She knows. Um, I'm going to actually just drop a link so everybody can kind of read on your own and to take a look at what it is. Basically, the Council Billionaire is a mastermind for people who want to really up level. Okay, we're not just talking about like a little bit of up level. We're talking about quantum leaping and collapsing time. So I want you to really kind of think about where you are right now and where you want to go, let's say a year from now. And actually, you know, it didn't take Mary very long. Like it really didn't take you very long, like maybe like 3-4 months. And the time can shorten, you know, in terms of how much you can succeed in life, but also understand that the Council Billionaire is really for people who want to contribute to the world, not just like let's earn a lot of money, hoard a lot of money, buy like the next, you know, whatever. It's really about up leveling you to the point where you think of yourself as I'm really a leader in this world and I'm going to shape the world, you know, in the way that I think would be really beneficial for the entire planet. It's really that level of thinking where, okay, now I'm going to step into that role of being a conscious leader. So I'm going to just drop the link, and I'm not going to take too much time here. You can just read about it, and if you have a question in a little bit, you can just ask me. So this is soleraforhumanity.com/apply. I hope that I have that correctly. Yeah, so you can go read that, and please do schedule a discovery call if you're interested in working with me in that way. So just, yes, go study that. All right. And thank you so much, Mary, for being so generous with us and sharing yourself. Really appreciate it.
Of course. One thing I do want to say, I didn't mention, is working with the guides, things are going to happen really fast. So get ready for that. I even remember one of my questions was like, I'm afraid of speed. How can I adjust? And they taught me. But get ready for what you want is possible, and it's going to happen fast. Like, of course, again, if you follow the homework and the steps and whatnot. But yeah, get ready for things to happen fast. It's exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much for telling people that. It's so true because sometimes people are actually afraid of the speed. You know, it's like going downhill. You know, you're like, oh my God, it's happening. Yeah, I remember you.
I remember I wanted to put the brakes on things. I was like, again, it was coming back from that. Like you said, I was restricting myself. So always feeling like I couldn't have it all. For example, the market, I feel like I couldn't, buy the expensive cheese. I had to buy the cheap cheese.
Yeah.
But now I just buy what I want when I go to the market. That was the thing I worked with the guides. But anyway, yeah, it got to a point where I was like, I don't want to make any more wishes. They're all coming true. But no, allow yourself to wish. You're literally here to experience the magic that the world has to offer. And so, yeah, get ready for that. Thank you for having me.
So much. Thank you so much.